Hello and happy 2025. Happy New Year. I hope that you are allowing yourself to let winter be winter and use this Capricorn season in the beginning of January to really kind of set your solid foundations for this upcoming year. In this video, I'm going to talk about the big astrological things happening this year, like all the retrogrades. We've got a couple of outer planets that are changing signs, and then we're also going to talk about the eclipses. Okay, so the big astrological shifts or things that are happening this year, I want to start out with the eclipses. So our first eclipse is a lunar eclipse in Virgo. So this is a full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo on March 14th. So remember, Virgo is, as we're transitioning into fall, getting organized. It's back to school time. It's like, getting all of your lists and getting your to-dos, harvesting the crops, like getting things organized and structured. So a lunar eclipse helps us to illuminate things that might be kind of like self-sabotaging. I feel like a Virgo eclipse can help us like, okay, I feel like I'm structured and organized. Like, what is blocking me? What is preventing me from being the best version of myself? A lot of times Virgo stuff has to do with like daily routines, like daily self-care kind of things, daily rituals, everything from like are you brushing your teeth? Are you going to bed at a certain time? It's like those things that keep us healthy and organized so that we can stay structured and organized. So that lunar eclipse in March is paired with a solar eclipse in Aries on March 29th. And we've had a lot of Aries eclipses the last few years, and this feels very significant. A lot of stuff is happening in Aries this year as well with the other planetary shifts. And that just makes me think that like Aries is springtime. It's the initiated time. Like I feel like the last 4 years has been, things crumbling and structures needing to change and evolve. And hopefully this Aries energy can help usher in like this new life, initiate this new way of living, because we've got rid of that old normal. Now we're like creating a new normal with all of this Aries energy. But Aries is also fire, so it can also be burning things down. So the solar eclipse, I find that solar eclipses really kind of dig things up from the shadows, because like normally it's like we have a really dark period around a new moon, and this just kind of, by blocking out the sun at a specific time, we're allowing that darkness to appear during the day as well. So I feel like solar eclipses really kind of dig deep, whereas the lunar eclipses are kind of like, it's the shadows that are already on the surface. So then in the fall, we have 2 more eclipses, a lunar eclipse in Pisces this time on September 7th. So Pisces is watery, dreamy, and energy. And so this lunar eclipse, I feel like, could bring up things that might be preventing and blocking your dreams. So the lunar eclipse in the spring was what are the daily things that like are really not helping you or are not serving you? And with the Pisces lunar eclipse, is what are the things that are blocking your dreams? What is preventing you from dreaming? What is preventing you from like believing that you can accomplish the things that you aspire to? So then this Pisces lunar eclipse is paired with a solar eclipse in Virgo on September 21st. So we have that lunar eclipse in the spring in Virgo, and now we have a solar eclipse in Virgo. And that is, again, those self-care routines. What are the things? And this is going to be happening in Virgo season. This is the Virgo new moon. So this is when we are setting those new routines to sustain us the rest of the fall and into the winter. Okay, so we also want to talk about the Mercury retrograde. Mercury is the planet of communication. And I think the reason Mercury retrogrades affect us so much is because Mercury is very close to us. Mercury follows the sun very closely. And so the Earth and Mercury is just kind of like circling the sun, kind of hand in hand together. We're usually very close together. And communication is so important. And despite having so much technology that helps us to communicate, we really do struggle as humans to communicate with one another, to be honest and to be truthful. So that's why Mercury retrogrades, I think, affect us so much. Our first one is going to be happening in that first eclipse season in spring on March 15th through April 7th. Mercury will be in Aries and Pisces, which is kind of interesting because that solar eclipse, that first solar eclipse is happening in Aries as well. So again, this is an Aries year, a very much like either initiatory or a burn it down kind of year. Our second Mercury retrograde is happening the end of July and beginning of August, July 18th through August 11th. So this is again happening in Leo season. This happened last year in Leo season too. And this just feels like raining on the parade and raining on the Leo party because, Leo likes to celebrate and have fun. And this is all the Leo sun birthdays. So it's kind of like grumpy birthday kind of energy with the second Mercury retrograde. It feels like if you're trying to throw this big party for yourself, it feels like nobody shows up. It feels like the venue is booked or like it gets canceled or rescheduled, that kind of thing. And then our third, so we only have 3 Mercury retrogrades this year, which is kind of exciting. A lot of times we have 4. So our third one is November 9th through November 29th. And this is happening in Sagittarius and Scorpio season, or I should say Scorpio and Sagittarius season. So Scorpio energy kind of has that dark, mysterious, or it does have this dark and mysterious energy. So it makes me feel like having lack of communication during this time or this Mercury retrograde might affect us in a way that's like, I'm feeling like delusion, like, because we want to, this time of year is time when we want to go into that hermit mode to like retreat, to meditate, to connect with our guides, to give thanks to our ancestors. This is when the veil is thin. So it makes me think that there might be like trickster spirits out there. Remember, Mercury is the trickster god, Hermes. So this just has this kind of like delusion, like weird, spooky, maybe trickster playful, but also be wary of like trickster, like trying to like sabotage you or something. I don't know. So those are all the Mercury retrogrades happening, but our first planet to go retrograde this year is Venus, and that's happening March 2nd through April 13th. So kind of shorter like a Mercury retrograde is, and this is happening in Aries. This just feels like post Valentine's Day blues. We focus so much on the heart and love in February, and then in March it's like, I don't know, it feels like you're rethinking your relationships, you're rethinking the people in your life, you're rethinking the boundaries that you have between people. So one thing that is affecting us right now is Mars retrograde. Mars went retrograde December 6th of 2024 and will go direct February 24th. Mars has been in Leo, but right now in January, it's kind of backing up into Cancer again. And this is just, to me, this says crabby Cancer energy. Leo retrograde had this like regal leadership royalty to it of really kind of rethinking how you like present yourself in the world, how you carry yourself in the world, how you hold yourself in the world. But a lot of like respect and loyalty. So like taking action like a leader would, like rethinking, like maybe I've been too selfish in the past. Maybe I need to start thinking about other people more, and kind of learning lessons about ego and about the self and about like how you carry yourself, how you respect yourself, how you respect others, like a lot of respect and loyalty kind of stuff. Cancer, on the other hand, is a water sign. This is mothering and nurturing and caring energy. So are you taking action in a loving, caring, supportive way? But it also is emotional and can just have I just feel grumpy crab energy with the Mars retrograde in Cancer. So that's happening right now in January. It will go back into Leo by the time that it's by the time Mars goes direct. Another planet that has been retrograde since 2024 is Uranus. Uranus went retrograde September 1st of 2024, and it's going to go direct January 30th. So the end of January, Uranus is going direct. And this, as in the United States, as we are changing the guard of presidents, I think we're all maybe kind of holding our breath around, or we're holding our breath around January 6th, and kind of like like what's going to happen when he takes office. And I think that like because we're anticipating like something to happen similar to what happened last time, I think I'm predicting that, I mean, I'm filming this before then, obviously, and I'm kind of predicting that like because we're anticipating it, like nothing's gonna happen and we're gonna kind of like exhale a little bit, sigh, like, okay, it's okay. But then Uranus is gonna go direct, and I think Uranus is the planet of liberation and freedom, and I think that's going to kind of like, I don't know, let that barrier down, let the like I think we will start seeing like more protests and more people speaking out about like things. So be at the end of January, I think maybe we're like, okay, so we got through the inauguration, but like I think as we move forward with this new president, I think we're going to see more of that tug of war, push and pull, fighting for your rights kind of energy. And I think that's going to be happening when Uranus goes direct at the end of the month. So Uranus will go retrograde again in September of 2025 until February of 2026. Saturn will be going retrograde in July 13th until November 28th. But the big thing that's happening with Saturn is that it is changing signs from Pisces to Aries. So Saturn changes signs every 3 years. This is your Saturn return. If you were born at a time when Saturn was in Pisces, you have been experiencing your Saturn return the last few years. This is like really big, significant changes in your life that force you to restructure your boundaries. And this is Saturn is the planet of boundaries and restrictions. It's like the anchor that like keeps you steady, but sometimes it can be the ball and chain that holds you back. So things in your life, big things in your life shift. So boundaries and restrictions, the big thing that I have noticed with Saturn in Pisces is that when Saturn was in Aquarius 3 to 6 years ago, I was using smoke cleansing for everything. I was like religious about it, multiple times a day to smoke cleanse my energy and aura. I'm a massage therapist, so I work really closely with people. So I'm always cleansing my energy, sending their energy back to them, and calling my energy back. And smoke cleansing was like my go-to. I keep little sage leaves with me everywhere in my purse, and I have them scattered all around the house so that I can just light a leaf and cleanse my energy and cleanse my aura really quick. When Saturn moved into Pisces, it was like smoke cleansing wasn't doing it for me. Like it wasn't working anymore. And I finally realized, oh, Saturn is in Pisces now. It's water. So I've been using spray cleanses instead, as well as like needing to drink extra water, using oils or water in general, like showering, releasing, cleansing your energy with water. So now that Saturn is changing into Aries, I'm not really sure how fire energy is going to help cleanse energy. I'm not really sure how that is. It might be that we're going to have to take down a lot of walls, take down a lot of boundaries. It might be that all these shields that us empaths put up, it might be that we're going to have to start burning those walls down and either, I guess, rebuilding other boundaries and protections, or maybe it's that we're finally stepping into an era where we're not going to have to like shield ourselves as much. Maybe. I don't know. So that's a big shift that's happening. Jupiter is also changing signs this year, and it's going retrograde a couple times this year as well. It's currently retrograde right now since October of 2024 and will go direct February 4th of 2025. It's currently in Gemini, and then it's going to shift into Cancer on June 9th of this year. So moving from air to water this time. Jupiter is the planet of growth and expansion, and being in Gemini has this very playful energy to it. Like it's like Jupiter's like luck and prosperity and abundance, and it's a very like happy, joyful planet. And Gemini is a very happy and joyful, playful sign. So it's been really beautiful energy, even though it has been retrograde. Shifting into Cancer is shifting into water again, but also that mothering, caring, nurturing energy. So I think that with Jupiter and Cancer, I'm feeling like we're going to really need to find those things that support us, sustain us, love us, care for us, nurture us. And that is how we grow and expand. We grow and expand by taking care of ourselves, making sure that our needs are met so that like we have the energy and the sustainability to like go out and expand and grow. Alrighty, so my beloved Neptune, my favorite planet Neptune, has been in its home sign of Pisces, and now it is moving on March 30th at the beginning of this year. I don't want it to move, but it's moving into Aries as well. I'm really kind of haven't thought enough about it because I'm just so sad because I just love Neptune and Pisces so much. It's just such beautiful energy. It's like it's Wonderland energy to me. Neptune and Pisces is Wonderland, Neverland, Neptune, the god of the sea. Like I just love this energy. So it's moving into Aries, and I really just don't know how I feel about this yet. I think I'm just not ready to let go. But we only have a couple of months because March is going to be here before we know it. So that's a really, really big shift. Neptune is also going retrograde in July. We did have a Neptune retrograde at the end of the summer last year, and it went direct in November or December of 2024. So we only recently got the direct Neptune like at the very end of the year, and then we'll expect that again at the end of this year as well. So I hope that this video helps to find that wisdom, to find that spark, to find your light, even on the darkest days that we might encounter in 2025. And that concludes the major astrological events that are happening in 2025. I hope that you are able to follow along in your Just a Phase moon planner or in your regular calendar. Mark these dates on your calendar so that you are prepared for when these things happen. If you haven't already, please check out my 2025, the Year of the Hermit, and the Numerology 9 video to help get another layer of what themes we might be encountering this year. Thank you so much for watching. I cannot wait to see you on the other side of the looking glass again sometime soon.